Hello and welcome to this morning's Liverpool news roundup here on Anfield Agenda. We're going to take a look at all of the news, including links with Nico Schlotterbeck, which seems to be heating up, some quotes from Lionel Messi around Rio Ngumoha. We have Alexis McAllister scoring 2 goals last night for Argentina, and we've got Giovanni Leoni being nominated for the 2025 Golden Boy Award. So please do hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and let's jump straight into it. We'll start off then with Nico Schlotterbeck, a player we've talked about a little bit on the channel in recent times. There's been more links popping up. It definitely seems to be heating up. So yesterday and this morning we've had reports from Christian Falk of Bild. Obviously he's a Bayern Munich source mainly, and Bayern Munich have been linked with Nico Schlotterbeck for a long time. And he said there should be contact between Liverpool and Borussia Dortmund regarding Nico Schlotterbeck soon. The defender would be interested in a move to Merseyside, and this is a positive thing to see. Like I said, he is predominantly a Bayern Munich journalist, so he's going to want to put a positive spin on this for the Bayern side. But the fact he's now saying that he would be open to a move to Liverpool, it can only be seen as a positive thing. Like, someone was dragging up a quote from Schlotterbeck himself from 2021 when he was at Freiburg. That quote said, "I'm not the type of guy that ultimately wants to play in England or Spain. I always wanted to play in the Bundesliga and in the best case for the best club," which does of course sound like it would be a Bayern Munich he's aiming for ultimately. Like, we see that with a lot of German players. Like, everyone expected Florian Wirtz, for example, to go to Bayern Munich because that is just the career path. Anyone who's half decent and has a German passport ends up at Bayern Munich. So we have seen a book in the trend of that already though, with Florian Wirtz joining us. So could Nico Schlotterbeck be the next high profile German player to snub Bayern Munich in favour of a Premier League move? Very interested to see how this one plays out. We have more from Christian Falk then, who said there should soon be contact. He already has a contract offer until the summer of 2030 on the table from Dortmund. However, if he accepts, he would just earn about €8 million, which is £6.9 million. Only €8 million, by the way, as if that's a small amount of money, but generally speaking it is, I suppose, in terms of a top level professional footballer, but not for you, alright? About €2.5 million more than what he's currently earning at Dortmund, and he's not satisfied with this. So obviously there are contract talks ongoing. His contract is up in the summer of 2027, so we're getting into the final 18 months or so of that contract. If he does seem to be turning these contracts down and Dortmund can't make any progress, it wouldn't be out of the realms of possibility that they would look to sell. Maybe not in January necessarily, but maybe next summer. If we come in with a decent offer, to be fair, they might take it if the money is right. We do need a centre back in January, so it wouldn't surprise me one bit if we do try our luck. I wouldn't be 100% convinced it will happen, but never say never. It is definitely a possibility. On top of that, this morning then, we had Dave OC Cop sharing the original post about Christian Falk saying that we're going to be in contact soon, and he just simply quoted that with an eyes emoji. Maybe he's heard something we haven't. We also had Matt Thielen, the founder of LFC Transfer Room, who he's fairly reliable on these things. To be fair, he does get a little bit of news every now and again, and he suggested that Liverpool are already kind of making moves towards signing a centre back in January as well. So it definitely does seem to be heating up a bit. Like, I know, like, some of the mainstream journalists have been saying that, like, likes of Mark A, he won't be coming in January, and at the current moment Liverpool are looking like not doing a whole lot of business in January. But I think common sense has to prevail here. I think we simply just do need to sign a centre back, and ultimately I think the club will do everything within their power to sign a centre back in January if a good opportunity arises. We're not going to panic buy, but someone like a Nico Schlotterbeck, a Mark Gahey, someone who's been on the list for a long time, if there's a sniff of him looking for a move, I'm sure we'll be all over it. More from that report then, it said Liverpool are looking at the German as a long-term successor for Virgil van Dijk, and this again would make sense. Like, we've seen the links with Mark Gahey and the likes, and they're all right-sided centre-backs. Nico Schlotterbeck is a left-footed, left-sided centre-back with an amazing range of passing, so he is definitely what we would be looking at long-term in terms of replacing Van Dijk. Not saying we're going to be replacing Virgil van Dijk anytime soon, like, he is still absolutely phenomenal, but we do need to future-proof. If you can get replacements in before the player leaves, that obviously is a help. Like, if you can have this succession planning in place for when players do drop off, like, let's say if we have Schlotterbeck in to replace Van Dijk, if we have whoever then to come in to replace Mohamed Salah at some point, like, we're already kind of doing that with Isak, to be fair. Like, we're building up goals from other parts of the pitch as well. So it is just future proofing, it's succession planning, and I think we could do far, far worse than getting Nico Schlotterbeck in early. get him bedded in, and then he's ready to step up and fully make that his position for when Van Dijk does move on. We do have a graphic here then. This is from at Pranav_M28 on Twitter. Shout out to him. This is very helpful, like, map of basically Nico Schlotterbeck's passes. So in the image you can see basically where all of his passes did end up. There's a lot of movement out to the left, a good bit out to the right as well. Predominantly the left, obviously he's on the left, but looking at some of the stats then, so he has a tendency to make 14.2 forward passes per defensive action. He's a switch completion of 81.2% and a progression percentage of 61.5%. Average penetration, 5.5 meters per pass. And those success rates are weighted by volume using logarithmic transformation, which we all love a bit of logarithmic transformation in the morning, don't we? So, like, again, I'm not a tactician, but looking at that, like, it obviously does look impressive. You read up on the player, you see a lot of people saying like one of his best traits is his ball playing ability, and yeah, I think, like I said, we could do far worse than signing Nico Schlotterbeck. I'd be very happy to see him come in the door. So whether that's in January or next summer, I think the club definitely does seem to have him on their list. He does seem to be at the top of our thinking. So definitely want to keep an eye on. Maybe if you do watch a lot of Bundesliga yourself, just let us know like how good a player is he? Would he fit into our system? So please do let me know. Would you take him at Liverpool? Let me know in the comments below. To fly through the rest of the news then, we did have confirmation yesterday that Giovanni Leoni has been named on the 25 player shortlist for the 2025 Golden Boy Award, which is fantastic to see. Like, I'm sure that will give him a nice boost now as he's trying to start his recovery from that ACL injury. It's nice to be shortlisted. Probably not going to win it, like there's a lot of big names on there, but I'm sure that will do his confidence absolutely no harm. And just nice to see him getting a bit of recognition because he is a top class player. He's so young, and again, just wishing him the best in his recovery because I can't wait to see him on the pitch. It's going to be fantastic for us. Alexis McAllister last night managed to score 2 goals for Argentina against Puerto Rico. And speaking after the game, he said, "Scoring goals helps, it gives you confidence, especially at a time when, personally, the season hasn't started in the best way. This helps to continue building confidence." And I think that can be said for a lot of our players. Like, to be fair, like, no one's been particularly fantastic for us in recent weeks. They've all gone off on international duty. A lot of them have scored goals, some of them have qualified for the World Cup. Like, it's all going to be a positive. It's good for their mindset. It's good to just refresh and come back to the game then on Sunday against United, like with a fresh head, and just dispel a lot of that negativity in the final week before the international break. So good to see Alexis on the score sheet. Good to see everyone just thriving with their countries as well. So yeah, always good news to see the lads doing well on international duty. To finish up then, we do have a quote from Lionel Messi speaking about Rio Ngumoha, or it's not really a quote as such, but a report from GE Globo, who said Lionel Messi has named Rio Ngumoha as one of the 10 most promising youngsters in the world. And imagine hearing that as Rio. Like, he's so young. He's gotten a few chances this season so far. He scored a wonderful goal against Newcastle to win us that game, and to get praise from Lionel Messi at the age of what, like 17. He's barely gone 17, and he's being talked about by one of the greatest, if not the greatest player to ever play the game. Like, again, the confidence boost that's going to give him, and it's great to hear. Like, he is our star boy. He's just been phenomenal whenever we've seen him, and no doubt he's going to be an absolute world beater. So I'd agree with Lionel Messi. Like, we're kind of on the same level in terms of our stature within the football world, and me and Messi, like, we know a talent when we see it, in fairness. So like, we have the eye, we've the same kind of footballing brain. So, you know, good to see Messi giving Ngumoha some praise there anyway, and like I'm saying, I'm sure that'll do his confidence absolutely no harm. That's all from me anyway. Craig will be back this evening for a live stream. He got back from his holiday last night, and I'm sure he can't wait to chat to everyone again because he really does miss the streams when he's away. Please do send him some positivity and love this evening when he's on, because he's had a tough few weeks and he could do with a boost. So anyway, that's all from me. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you very soon.